10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Is brought to you by Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, providing first-class construction services on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right, sports concepts and rationalizations coming your way. We do it each and every day. We call it the 10-minute drill. Beef, what are we going to drill you with at the end of said spot?
My fists. Oh, you mean what are we going to give away?
Yes.
We are going to give away to one lucky Guggen our 10-minute drill prize pack today, which features a $25 gift card to Scrubble's Car Wash and $25 to Donato's Pizza.
One more NIL. Auburn quarterback Bo Nix has an endorsement deal with Milo's Sweet Tea.
Hell yes. Go get it.
And there's definitely going to be places in the country, like in the Milo's in the Southeast, that works. Sweet tea for Auburn.
Although if you're
But again,
Milo's, do you want Bo Nix?
Well, here's what's going to happen. Again, there's going to be teams where the 12th best player, because he's the quarterback or has a name, is going to get the cash. And, I mean, we see those kind of bitter rivalries a bit in the professional level. Let's start doing it with 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be some management there, but that's okay. I wish you weren't going to Atlanta for the Braves game tonight, because I'm really going to do a rain dance all day. I don't want to see any part of Jacob deGrom, because I know just what the Walking Dead will do. They'll feast on the brains of a nonsensical outcome, but when it comes time today to man up, they'll swing and miss like the sissy brand of ball that they're playing this year and head right over to there'll be no cosplay, okay? We won't be hugging pandas in there. My team's driving me nuts, man.
Yeah, I know. When
you're
not
a bunch of
going good,
5-year-olds.
Yeah.
I got a guy in my dugout who puts a panda hat on, and we're 3 games under 500. They drive me crazy. I'm the only guy in the world that hates a 20-run outburst, because I know what frauds they are today when it matters. With an all-star on the other side. But big goose egg, buddy. We're going to combine for 20 in 2 days.
I would rather lose that way and click it off,
of course,
than
how I did the night before.
Be a Beefs Cubs fan or a Yankee fan and watch my team give up, 7 in the 9th and lose after a rain delay.
Oh,
that one stung. So
I'm in a dark place right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, your team's going backwards. They were like one of the real good stories there for
we've gone from buyers to sellers in about 1 week.
Well, we're buying.
Beef says we're going to find out. That they're not quite. And then listen, again, Schwarber's having an MVP candidate season, and you Darvish, and if you had those two guys, and what's frustrating to Cubs fans, and fairly so, is that they can afford to have those two guys.
They can 100%.
Yeah, I don't. That's
what drives you nuts about it.
As one of the hardcore Twitter guys says, that franchise should never be rebuilding.
No,
you have the resources.
You're correct.
You should be Braves.
Yes.
Red Sox, Dodgers, Yankees.
You should honestly, Beef. You and your best Cubs fan friend should go.
Taylor Dow.
Is it Taylor Dow? You and Taylor Dow should get in a car, take a week off, drive to Washington, kidnap Kyle Schwarber, and take him back to Wrigley Field.
You had him at a week off.
Yeah, I'm not getting in the car and driving anywhere.
Like the what was the movie with?
I'm especially not trying to go kidnap.
What was the movie with the Celtics?
Celtic Pride.
Yeah, Celtic Pride.
Alex English. No.
Who'd they kidnap?
They kidnapped
Damon Wayans.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the one?
The jazz guy. Yeah.
What is the one with Alex English? What's that called?
That's he's got the something. He's got the name. It's got an interesting name.
You know the one.
I'll get it.
What is this? What is he befriends a little kid fan? Is that what that one is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Damon Way. Yeah, you're right. The Damon Way. They kidnap him.
Celtic Pride.
Amazing Grace and Chuck.
Amazing Grace and Chuck.
Yeah.
Was he a Celtic in that or no?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
Celtic Pride was the one I was. Daniel Stern was one of the kidnappers.
Yeah, I don't know who the other guy was.
Yeah. But anyway.
Daniel Stern, wasn't he one of the bad guys in Home Alone?
Yeah.
Indeed he was.
This guy loves kidnapping, doesn't he?
And a city slicker.
And one of the city slickers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's everywhere, man.
Yeah. But anyway, with that said, so what a crazy.
It was Dan Aykroyd.
It was Dan Aykroyd.
Big Danny.
Yeah, what a crazy night of Major League Baseball last night. And very quietly, the Nats are now just 2 games out, and they don't lose. They've gone and beaten the Rays twice in a row, which tells me that
they're hot right now.
They're good.
That's the kind of run that I've been dying for my team to go on.
Yeah.
That's all it takes is one of those little, and Glavin said it great last night. He said, look, when I look for a break, I'm not talking about winning 15 games in a row. I'm talking about winning 7 series in a row.
Yeah.
And then you're only making up 7 games, but it's something.
Right. Right.
I just got no, whatever. They're the Walking Dead. I buried him for a reason. They'll lose today.
Yeah, we're going up to Atlanta to watch DeGrom, but I don't know. Now the weather is not looking good up there. It's going to be rainy.
It's like 65% chance of thunderstorms, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe you should just put it off and go up a different time and let me just full on root. Because listen, as bloodthirsty as I am, as much as I want to taste victory, I can't. I can't root for the rain out if you and the crew is up there in Atlanta. If you're going to drive all the way up there, I can't root for the rain out. I doesn't mean that I'm going to cry if they do rain out anyway, but I need to just be able to full on root for the rain out. I want no piece of DeGrom.
I've had we had that one rain out one time in New York.
Yeah, that was terrible. It wasn't fun at all.
No.
Then we got back in. We've had a lot of cussers through the year. Then we got back in the limo with the cusser,
who
took us all way out of the way.
Yes, he did, because he wanted to make more money.
Jeans were soaking wet. You know how jeans get wet? They start to stink. Felt like we were in some sort of pig pen on the way home.
Well, it's Bobby Bonilla Day today, so.
Does he get paid today?
He gets paid.
Is this $1 million again?
It's his NIL day.
Yeah, it is his NIL
Isn't
day.
that funny that it shows up on the same day?
Yeah. 58-year-old Bobby Bonilla, $1.1 million. Again, he's not the only one, but for some reason he is the poster boy for it. There's lots of.
He's reaching the end of this, isn't he?
He is. It's through it's through 2035.
Okay, so he's not.
He's not. No.
I got a lot more to go.
July. It didn't start till 2011 though.
Or maybe it was Suter that was reaching the end of his.
Yeah.
And he gets $1 million every year, right? Or is it more than that?
That's 1.1.
And how many years in a row?
11 to 35.
It
20.
really wasn't smart on Bonilla's point. You get your money up front, you invest it, it'd be worth 20 times what he's getting right now. I know we always, are amazed that he still gets this, but really the Mets did the right thing.
Unless he's a guy who's bad with money.
Well, I guess. Well, if you're super bad, you'd probably go to him and say, okay, I'll take $5 million now for the rest.
The Mets tweeted out yesterday, you know what tomorrow is? We have a big announcement, and there's a picture of Bobby Bonilla. So part of me wonders if they've
But a pinch hit.
worked out a deal to pay him off so they don't have to deal with this.
Maybe. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I wonder.
Yeah. By the way, here, Brett Saberhagen, Max Scherzer will receive $105 million total from the Nats that will be paid out through 2028. Man Ram is collecting money from the Sox through 2026. Ken Griffey Jr. is getting money from the Reds through 2024. Todd Helton is getting money from the Rockies.
Jeez.
So,
I guess if you're players and you made a lot, because that's the thing. All those guys you mentioned also had made a lot already, and now it's just
so
kinda,
it's nice
it's
to
like
have
your
that.
retirement.
Yeah.
It's like your pension.
yeah, it's a pretty good pension.
I'll take
if
it.
you can get it.
Things got a lot worse for Trevor Bauer yesterday with the details coming out on this lady's accusations and the photo evidence that she's describing. And look, if you're going to claim that that's the kind of roughness that a woman wants, then you better be absolutely sure. And because it's quite revolting, the details that she gives and the photographic evidence that's there, and I would say the case against Trevor Bauer is going to be a strong one if they ride it out.
Yeah, it's
because listen, he said she said to me that's not as harsh as what this shows. This isn't he said she said. This is somebody that's got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
And at some point, even as a society, if I tell you, Dan, beat the crap out of me, it's on you to not do it.
Right.
So again, unless it's just completely fabricated, he's never met her, which does not seem to be the case, even from his side. What the hell's wrong with you, man? You're a terrible person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will spare you the details, but, I'll leave you with just the small one that he strangled her unconscious more than once.
Jeez.
So, perhaps that's not pleasure.
What are we doing?
Look, there's some freaks out there when it comes to stuff,
Yeah.
but you better be, you better be sure you're all on the same page. And like I said, choking someone unconscious and then punching her, that's not amore, my friend. That's just not. So we'll see. And again, the sports side of this is the Dodgers ain't repeating. This regardless. It's hard to repeat, and they just have looked all year like they're not going to be able to just snap their fingers, turn it on, and repeat. To me, there's too much. There's
a lot of good teams.
Yeah, there's too many contenders over there, and baseball seems to reward their flare-up contenders as well. Don't forget that part. Right? The team that suddenly comes out of nowhere, they seem to get rewarded in the postseason in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
they continue that run. And the Dodgers ain't been running. That's for sure.
It'll be interesting going forward. But, yeah, Trevor Bauer has got some issues to deal with for sure. And this is, man, it's been an interesting first couple months after signing that mega deal with the Dodgers for sure.
Well, and again, when it comes to this, there's a difference in being experimental, kinky, whatever you want to use, and what this evidence shows.
Right.
This isn't, I just little ears. We won't go much further than that.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
And if you want to know the dirty details, they're all out there now as just to how, off the chain this whole thing is. So, Tampa just going to win another one? Is that what we're doing? Just to go ahead and give Tampa,
puck talk,
a crown and everything. Didn't Tampa win it last year?
Yes.
The Lightning?
Yes.
And then the Bucks won, and then the Rays were in the World Series.
Yes. Running it back.
It doesn't seem.
Run it back.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
It doesn't really seem fair. I just don't consider Tampa to be this great sports town that deserves all these riches. I've been up in Atlanta forever. I don't get anything. And these Johnny-come-latelys who just arrived on the sports scene in 1976 with those Tampa Bay Bucks, they're getting them left and right.
They,
don't you think
good hockey team, and I think the Canadians getting there. And
those, yeah,
it's a great story, the Canadians, but the story ends. And nice job in Montreal where they just said, "Hey, can we have 10,000 in the arena?" No, you can only have 3,500. And we talked about this last week. Outside the arena, there are people on top of people.
It's nonsensical.
So it makes no sense.
Now, these virtue signalers are just the worst. Congratulations, Montreal Canadian organization. You care more than anyone. Let's see what that gets you.
Right.
It's going to get you a Stanley Cup loss. Well, there's one thing it'll get you. I mean, these people that continue to hold on to, like, COVID as if we're in the middle of a pandemic are ridiculous.
Well, so anyway, in Montreal, they'll only get 3,500. The Canadians, we talk about just are a great example of you always want to just get to the tournament. What happens if you can get to the tournament? The Canadians, we were saying, we looked up last week. We go, well, they're playing great hockey now. I wonder if they were red hot coming in. The answer was no. They lost their last 5 regular season games, Jeff. So they lost their last 5 regular season games. They got in the playoffs, and they were down 3-1 to Toronto, so they were 1-8. And then all of a sudden they
got hot,
came back and beat the Maple Leafs, and then they kept winning, and they won the next series, and then they beat the Vegas Golden Knights, and all of a sudden they're in the Stanley Cup final.
Until they lose a home game, you can't completely give up on them. But and it's not like that was a blowout yesterday.
No.
I think one of those goals came late, but Tampa, to me, it's just this amazing, fortunate run that the city of Tampa's on, man. To be a sports fan down there every season, you're just re-upping. I mean, that leads us to the top-ranked roster in football is the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
And if we were picking today, wouldn't you pick the Bucks to win it all?
Why wouldn't you?
Right. You got Tom Brady. You got a great team. You got a great coach. You got everyone back. I mean, yeah, I think the Bucks are in line. I mean, and by the way, the Rays haven't exactly gone away.
No.
I mean, they're going to be very much a part of the postseason story when it comes to baseball as well. So, I mean, kudos to Tampa, I guess. I think I can blame you. I mean, you let Tampa off the list. You used to be an anti-Tampite, and now you just, glowing,
I love Tampa.
Yeah, you're just glowing.
I've done a 180
endorsements.
On them. Yeah.
Kind of bothers me a little
Not a Tampa
bit.
fan, but, sports fan. But
yeah, seems like
I
you
don't
are.
like the Lightning. I don't like the Rays. I don't like the Bucks. I've always respected Brady. Not a Brady fan, but kind of the dynasty that he is really amazing. Really amazing. So, but yeah, I'm with you. But they're rolling. They're running it back with hockey. They're going to try it in football, and they're in the middle of a baseball season where they're 15 games over 500. So they're doing just fine. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
I got a hockey team that has won one cup in my lifetime in 1994. I got a baseball club that's in first place in July 1st for the first time since 2007. By the way, 2007 was the year of the epic collapse.
I remember that.
And I got
You're doing the show with Atlanta fan. You realize that?
Yeah. And now I'm reading how the Knicks have suddenly became a destination team.
Is that right? Who are you getting? Who's destined to come there?
Well, they're all big on trading for Lillard, but I don't want to trade for Lillard. I'd rather sign somebody, than give up all the. Because if you're going to trade for Lillard, you got to give him RJ and Quickly and
It's funny.
your picks
We
and-
did it. We being the Hawks, and all the contributions that I make. But
Yes.
the Hawks did it through the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at their players right now. Not all, but Young, Herter, Reddish, Hunter, Collins.
Yeah.
You also, and I'm not saying you can't build just through the draft. And if the Hawks didn't have Bogdanovich and Capella and Gallinari and some of the others, they wouldn't be what they are. But you better have at least a stable of 3 or 4 guys that you've drafted that you've hit on. And the Suns did that, right? Booker and Ayton. You look at the Bucks did it with Giannis and Middleton. You got to hit those guys.
Fresno State twin basketball players Haley and Hannah Cavender, who have millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram, have signed with Boost Mobile. Deal facilitated by their lawyer.
Now, see, again, already today, the names that you're throwing at me for the most part are these social media mavens already that have the amount of followers that allow them to get paid that make them endorse. Like, they're not getting endorsed because they're Fresno State basketball players. They're getting endorsed because of their social media presence. So, and that just kind of speaks to my point initially. You got all these, if you're just some meat grind and defensive tackle, you're not going to make any money, unless you have that creative spark and that social media following. That's who's really going to get paid. That's they're going to get paid for what they were already doing.
De'Ara King will engage in one of the first live NIL events on a historic day, but there's chaos. Schools are scrambling, coaches arranging deals, and no one knows how to enforce any of it.
Here we go.
Inside the NIL patchwork, it's a cluster bleep.
I told you. It had been 10 minutes, man. We're headed for some Wild
We'll
West.
figure it out as we go.
And that's fine. I'm just saying, this is, it's looked on as this game-changing day, and it is going to change the game, but it's not all going to be 3 up, 3 down,
Speaking of payoffs, Gators have finally, according to Mark Long, AP Mark Long, Gators have finally paid off Jimmy McElwain. And Butters gets $500,000 today in his final installment of his $7.5 million buyout. Total cash paid for Mac for his nearly 3 years of service, $23.8 million.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Butters.
Good job, Butters. Honey, where's that $500,000? Just leave that on the
Those
table.
idiots down
Pretty
there in
cool.
Florida. That's pretty cool.
I'm going to go out in the barn,
It's pretty
honey.
cool. Enjoy Western Michigan, you slappy.
Chippewas.
Which is pretty cool.
Or is he Central Michigan? I don't even know
he's
who
Central.
he is.
I think he's
Central. Chip up.
He's a chip up.
Chip off the old block.
I saw those big chompers last year in the MAC title game. That didn't go well. You big chomping, corn-eating bastard.
Two SEC
Wow.
East championships. Don't you deny him.
Yeah, he's the East, all right. Way to represent against Bama.
Kings of the
Chompers.
East.
Hey, Chompers, when's a good time to tell your team that you're getting fired? How about right before kickoff of Florida, Georgia?
Oops.
That's a winning strategy.
Oh, dear.
Shut up, Chip.
All right, yeah.
Let's get Doc Murphy up next, get some insight into Giannis and Trey and the boys. We'll talk to him. And Beef, why don't we do caller number 4 right now at 641-1010. Tell them what they're going to win.
Call number 4 right now at 641-1010. Gonna go home with today's 10-minute drill prize pack. It features $25 to dine at Donato's Pizza and $25 to Scrubbles Car Wash. So call now, caller 4, 641-1010.